Hello and happy as today's to each of you folks. I hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing day today. So today on Video Game Wednesday, I like to record some older video games and that sort of a thing too. And so I recently did Star Control 2 from 1992. And then I've been doing some Let's Plays with Star Control 2 and I'm about done with that sort of a thing too. And so I thought it would be fun for me to take a look at the rest of the Star Control series. And then I did play 1, 3, and Origins. I might do Origins next. It's pretty good. I think it's underrated rather. So let's take a look at Star Control 3 from 1996. This is the sequel. It was developed by Legend Entertainment, and then it was released by Accolade, the same people that released the first 2 games. Now that's not the original people that worked on this. It's directed by Michael Lindner. It's produced by George McDonald. It's designed by Mark Roche, and he's also one of the Posh, and he's also one of the coders too for this. The other one is Michael Lindner, and then art is also by Michael Lindner too, and composed by Andrew Fraser. So this has a Steam user rating by people at a pretty uneven 62%. Well, I think that's about fair. And Metacritic is nice, actually. Critically created 89 out of 100. For you folks. So after the massive fiscal success of Star Control 2, Accolade came to the 2 people that made up Toys for Bob and said, hey, would you like to come back with a similar budget? We'd definitely love to come back to this story. Now, this story leaves open a lot of different things that were happening. And that sort of a thing, too. And they said, no, we're interested in moving on from the Star Control franchise, but we'll license it too. So they did, and that sort of thing too. So that's why Accolade made this, and that sort of thing too. So here's how this moves into the location, therefore, of the arrow that the Precursors left as hints in the second game, and that sort of thing too. So the Precursors basically you're in a Precursor ship, you're fighting all this stuff in Star Control 2, right? That's the sort of thing. And then after that, you are then putting together an alliance of different good guys against the big bad, the Iroquois, and they're in the doctrinal conflict, who you guys lost the battle in the first game, and then now they're in a conflict with their spin-off race, the Korra, or even eviler than they are. So you put together a number of different people, right, from the Precursors, and so this shows where the Precursors went to that section of space, and then you're putting together that council, the same council. It's all the people that you put together and allied with in the first one, but then here now you are having about the same number. You're also improving the same number of bad guys too, putting them together too. So you have a giant coalition of good and bad guys from the first couple of games. It makes sense. And then after that is over with, now the game has changed a little bit too. So this game has puppetry, stop motion puppetry, that a lot of people think it was a little uncanny valley-ish for this era in the 90s, and then also they changed some of that canon by the fans, and then they move it from a traditional sort of an adventure with some battling like arcade games, to the adventure to an 4X, kind of like Master of Orion. Now that actually makes some degree of sense when you think about it. 4X games in the mid 90s, right around Master of Orion 2, right around Master of Magic, right around Civ at its height. That actually makes some degree of sense, I think. So it'll take you about the same number, about at the same time as the first one, about 20 hours for you folks. Now, I do think that I played it at the time, and I thought it was actually pretty good when I played it at the time, and that sort of a thing. And then, but I really haven't gotten back with it. I didn't feel like it was really pushing boundaries. It did change some canon up here and there in some ways, but I don't really care about that much. But the UI isn't exactly the best. So I'm giving this a 7 out of 10 for you folks. I also wasn't bothered by the puppetry. I think it was fun. Right? I also wasn't bothered by, the motion videos of early on in like Wing Commander or 2 or 3, that sort of thing. Right? Which also try to be very avant-garde. So again, so out of folks, now the original one from 2, I would have given it 10 out of 10 too, so it's definitely a step down. But I wouldn't say it's a bad game like some people would. But yeah, it clearly is a step down because it's not made by Toys for Bob, right? Alright, so have you played this game? And if so, what did you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Happy to sort of engage you with it further. So this stuff is now owned by Stardock. They purchased the rights of this world, and then they put out Star Control Origins pre-pandemic in the later era. So we're going to look at that next. And it might be a game I do next month. I like it lots. I think it's pretty fun. Alrighty. But there you are. So if you want your sci-fi spoof done in a 4X style with an with a bad user interface, but it's okay. And it's a faster game too. It still has a plot and a point and that sort of thing. It's not just, hey, go out there and explore this galaxy, right? So there, it's still a comedic sci-fi take on the genre for you folks. And so that's alrighty. So there you go. And if that sounds so, and then I am going to, as a reminder, do on my reviews on Saturday. I do on for serial Saturdays. I do reviews of older film and sometimes TV serial from generations ago, back in like the pulp era or the 40s, 50s, that sort of thing too. So you can check out those. On Monday, I do reviews of older tabletop RPGs. Like right now, I'm doing my review of I just finished up with X5 review from Dungeons and Dragons, which was Tempest of Doom. Temple of Doom. Tempest of Doom is actually a pretty cool name for a bit my child too, but it's a classic. And then I also, 3 days a week, I do reviews of older things in the various genres that we cover that you read in science fiction and fantasy and horror too, right? So if those things those 7 plus the Let's Plays too, right? If those 7 things sound like your cup of tea, or you just want to follow along with Star Control stuff, that's fun, right? Please do all the YouTube stuff and have a seat. And then, like I said earlier, do all the YouTube stuff like the subscribe button, like button, bell icon, all that stuff too. There you go for you folks. Alright, as you can tell from those 7 older things and finding it for you folks, it's definitely the passion of this channel. It's even where its name comes from. The worst thing about new books, it's a quote by a French philosopher, Jacques Joubert, who says that the worst thing about them was that they kept us from reading the old stuff, right? There's definitely some other stuff we might have forgotten about in the passion for than new. Not that they're bad, right? But I fall, but you get the idea. Star Control, definitely a franchise that's being built on giants. No more Star Control series have been made for folks, unfortunately. And so there you go. And so there, I want to thank you so very, very much for just taking some time out of your day and investing it, right, and watching my video, because we all have so many things that are happening in our lives, and we're pulled in so many different directions too, right? So the fact you spent this time with me, that's incredibly humbling, and I appreciate that so very, very much. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.